To commence our third session, we have GSWA's Manager of Petroleum and Exploration Information, Yasinta Situmorang. Yasinta manages the Western Australian Petroleum Information Management System, better known as WAPMS, and she's going to talk to you about some recent acquisitions that we've made.
Thanks, Michelle. So I'll be presenting this talk to you as the working group lead for data optimization as part of the geoscience data transformation program. And before I start, I would also like to pay my respect to the traditional peoples of the land. And I would also like to thank my colleagues who, without them, we would not have a slide scanning project. So to start off with, I'd love to tell you a bit about our GSWA collections. We've got over 400,000 slides, residues and mounts of various types. So we have a mix of petrology slides, palynology slides, mounts, gridded slides, and all sorts of stuff that are not shown on the photos there. So these samples have been collected from all around WA, either submitted by industry or academia, such as yourselves, as a result of their exploration and research activities. Also samples collected from petroleum wells and mineral drill holes, as well as rock samples collected by GSWA geologists in the field. So because of the volume and the variety of our collection, it does form one of the most comprehensive mineral and fossil records in Australia, and they would be virtually impossible to replace if they got lost or damaged. Unfortunately, around 10% of our collections currently show signs of damage. That may not seem like a lot, but when you realise that represents 40,000 samples, we thought we probably should do something about it. So the main purpose of the slide scanning project is really for cataloguing and disaster proving. We want to preserve the information held within these samples before they're further affected by ageing and degradation. We also hope to reduce the number of slides that we loan out. So currently, slides from for example, our mineral and petroleum relinquishment collections are made available for loan to the public, but as previously mentioned, repeated physical handling contribute towards degradation of the samples. And with loaning the slides, we do risk not getting them back. So friendly reminder, if you've got slides laying around, we do want them back. And yeah, so we just want to reduce the risk of information loss. We also want to increase the visibility and accessibility of our collection. So for example, again, with the petroleum relinquishment collection, you can see what depth intervals have slides available in WAPMS, but you don't actually know if they're suitable for your research unless you actually borrow the slides and physically look at them. So we want to eliminate the need for these type of loan requests, but the scans are not a complete replacement for the physical slides themselves. And so we won't be disposing of any slides, and we will continue to make the slides available for detailed analysis. Lastly, we just want to be able to showcase what we have in our collections and ultimately promote WA as a destination of geological research and exploration. So these intentions are in line with the GSWA's data transformation strategy, which aims to modernise our data storage, management and delivery. As Tony mentioned earlier, one of the main objectives of the program is to improve data availability and accessibility, and we aim to do this by cataloguing and scanning the physical assets and making them available to the public, meaning you guys. So as part of the program, the survey decided to invest in 2 slide scanners. The first scanner that we purchased is the high throughput Olympus VS200 slide scanner. This can be set up to scan up to 210 standard size slides in a single run. And just in case you're wondering what I mean when I say, standard size slides. I'm referring to 76 by 26 millimeter slides, and the slides get loaded into these cassette trays here, and the cassettes get loaded into the tower, and a robot arm moves the cassettes between the tower and the scanner. So the scanner itself has 4 lens objectives, and the illumination and imaging methods listed on the screen there. So the scanning methods can be manually adjusted for the optimum settings for each type of slide. And with this scanner, we are restricted in terms of the thickness and the size of the slides. However, most of our slides are the standard size slides, so the aim is to run as many of them as possible with this high throughput scanner, as it's mostly automated and also has pretty flexible scanning capabilities. But for everything else that can't fit in the Olympus, we have the Zeiss AxioZoom V16, and this scanner can scan anything up to 100 by 150 millimeters in width, and in terms of height, it can scan pretty much anything that can fit between the stage and the lens objective. So this scanner has 2 lens objectives with magnification up to 168 times magnification. So we're still in the early phase of the slide scanning project, but we've already recognised some challenges. Firstly, we've recognised that it's going to be a slow ongoing process. So at the moment, let's say a scan run of 100 slides can take up to a week to prepare, load and actually scan. So based on those numbers, we're looking at least 10 years of scanning our entire collection, and our collection will only continue to grow. So it really is an ongoing project. Secondly, file size can be an issue both for storage and for download. Most slide scan outputs are anywhere between 5 and 15 gigabytes, but once you start scanning an oversized thick section at 100 times magnification and multiple Z-stack layers, the output file can be 400 or 500 gigabytes in size, which is not practical at all. And lastly, we recognise that it won't completely replace looking at the physical slide under the microscope for detailed analysis. So unfortunately, with automated batch scanning, it does have to include some level of homogenization, and being a static scan image, it's not going to be able to replicate things like rotating the microscope stage. So slide loans for more detailed examinations will always be an option, as long as we still have the slide and it's in good condition. So in terms of the output files, we will be making the raw image files available. This will allow for the metadata to be, the metadata associated with the slides to be preserved and embedded in the files. But as mentioned, because the raw files can, are quite large, we'll also be making overview image files available in JPEG or PNG. And there are free viewing software available that you can just download to be able to view the raw files. So we've got Olivia for the Olympus scans and ZenLight for the Zeiss scans, and you'll be able to zoom in and out through different resolutions and switch between image types, and you can also do basic image manipulation and labeling, and software like ImageJ can also be used to do more detailed analysis like point counts. So the GDTP team, as Tony mentioned, is looking at solutions for cloud data storage and a delivery portal for us to be able to deliver the data from all of our collections to you. But in the meantime, since the Petroleum relinquishment collection is already catalogued in WAPIMS, we can make these available to you to download via WAPIMS. So if you haven't already, come and see us in the South Foyer. I'd love to be able to show you what we've scanned so far, and also I will mention that the WAMEX front-end demo is being demoed there as well. Thank you.